way back in 1997, Ricky Carmichael was a 125 class rookie, breaking records in his first full season of professional motocross. RC smashed Bob Hurricane Hanna's 20-year-old record for wins with 8 victories on his way to the title, which he clinched at the scenic Washougal Motocross Park in Washington. Once thought unbreakable, Carmichael's rookie record is now in danger of falling itself, as a new 16-year-old phenom from Florida has revolutionized the sport of motocross. James Bubba Stewart has already won 6 of the first 8 rounds in the 2002 series. And with a win today here at Washougal, Stewart will move one step closer to breaking Carmichael's rookie record, not to mention winning the championship title in his very first year on tour. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Washougal, Washington for the 9th round of the 2002 AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championships. This afternoon, we will be watching the 125 national class, and that, of course, means James Stewart. Can he keep his domination going here in his first visit to Washougal? I'm your host, Davey Coombs, and joining me down the track will be Cameron Steele. And taking the place for a vacationing David Bailey is former Suzuki factory rider Denny Stevenson. Taking a look at the point standings, Stewart out front with 337 points after 8 rounds. Reed has fallen 65 behind. He was only 27 back before they got to Kenworthy's, and then he had this fall followed by a flat tire. You see Stewart got stuck on him. And then at Unadilla last week, the big incident. Stewart slows down, lets Reed get around him, and then turns around and passes him right back. We talked to both Bubba and Chad Reed about this incident as they arrived here at Washougal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I got a lot of confidence now. I mean, you know, letting Chad catch up to me, and it was probably like the biggest confidence booster of my whole pro career. And you know, passing him back and winning a race at the end of the race was awesome. And just, you know, let everybody know that, I mean, I can go the distance, and my physical wise is awesome. So, you know, definitely I felt really good out there, and I'm glad I did it.
I'm looking forward to winning this weekend. You know, I was pretty mad last weekend, and you know, I used that all week. Just, you know, every time I got up in the morning, I just kind of thought about it a little bit, and then go back out and, you know, train. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I gotta try and get in there and make some things happen.
Well, Denny, have you ever seen something like that in professional motocross?
No, Davey, I have not. This is the first time in my career I've seen anything like it. Unfortunately for Chad Reed, Washougal is a completely different course. It's a new week, a new track.
Well, besides Reed and Stewart, another rider has been making headlines, and he's down on the starting gate with Cameron Steele.
Right on, guys. Well, I'm down here on the starting gate with Brandon Jessman. Brandon, 3 seconds in a row. It seems like you're the guy that might be able to knock James Stewart off his pedestal, so to speak. A lot of people are saying if you don't get him now, he might run away with it. Do you have any thoughts on that?
It's a possibility, you know. I mean, I just want to come out this weekend and try my best to beat him, try to kind of throw him off track, get him, you know, get in his head a little bit, and see where that goes.
You've definitely been coming with the speed. What I think everybody likes to see is you guys together battling it out. Any thoughts on that? I mean, you guys get close, there could be a real battle at hand.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I expect it to be a big battle because James wants to win, I mean, a lot, as well as I do. So, I mean, I'm sure we're going to pull out all the stops and do the best we both can.
Well, someone definitely has to step up, stop James Stewart's role, and, you know, Brandon Jessman might just be the guy to do it.
Taking a quick look at our Suzuki Fast Lap. Denny, tell us a little bit about this Washougal track.
For one, it's incredibly beautiful up here in Washington. It's a short start, a lot of elevation changes, and it's a deceiving dirt. It looks really dark, but it's really pretty slippery for these riders.
And also they have a dirt start here, which, as we've seen going back earlier in the year, usually plays into Chad Reed's hands. Now, taking a look at our Suzuki starting lineup, Stewart, Reed, and Jessamine, the 3 principals. Below them, Fonseca, Danny Smith, Larry Ward. Never count him out. This is back in his old stomping grounds. He grew up here before he moved to South Carolina. Privateer Jeff Gibson, Justin Bucklew. Rounding out the field is Jason McCormick. He won a moto here as recently as 1999. Now the starting gate is ready to drop. The cart is sideways, and we are getting ready to go. The 9th round is underway, and there you see Matt Walker go right bar camera up on the inside, and it looks like Shea Bentley. No, the whole shot is taken by
Tiger Lacey.
Tiger Lacey. Tiger Lacey sneaks through all the factory bikes, gets the whole shot. Shea Bentley back for the first time all summer, a second, and then it looks like it's Michael Byrne right behind him.
James Stewart looks buried in the pack, Davey. This could be interesting. We've been waiting for a race like this all year.
There you see Andrew Short in third. Actually, that was Travis Preston in third. Andrew Short in fourth. Lacey, the privateer, holding up the 39 best 125 riders in the world. Takes a look over his shoulder. Here comes Bentley on the inside, and he makes the pass. Lacey got a little lazy right there and gave it up. Now Bentley out front on the Simple Green Pro Circuit Kawasaki. You see one of the team technicians out there waving him on. Here comes Preston down the inside, and Lacey holds on once again. Larry Ward is our third place rider, and then it looks like Billy Lanovich is another rider who just came off the bench. So you've got Bentley and Lanovich making their first appearances in quite some time at the front of the pack, Denny.
It's great to see Shea Bentley come back after an injury-riddled career. And Billy Lanovich, he's been training with Ryan Hughes, which is going to be, he's been known for being an Ironman.
Here comes Larry Ward. Oh, and Lacey cuts him off over the big mound as they go through the centerpiece of the track, and a rider off the side of the track. That looked like Travis Preston. Maybe just had a bike seizure. Travis Preston off the track. Now here's the pass, Denny.
Basically, Shea Bentley just comes down the inside. Tiger Lacey's already looking behind him, expecting the pass. Shea Bentley just uses his skill to the better rider, just comes up the inside and wheelies away.
Now, besides Bentley, watch what happens to Travis Preston at the top of your picture.
Yeah, Travis Preston looks like his bike just blew up, ruining a terrible start. He's not had a very good summer.
He's lucky that didn't happen on a double jump. Back to the front of the pack. Bentley out front. Now Larry Ward is second. He's got by Lacey. Lanovich is fourth, and Brandon Justman is fifth. And you are yet to see James Stewart come into the picture. There he is, 14th place. James Stewart, the worst start we've seen him had in quite a few races.
Unfortunately, I don't see Chad Reed in the front of the pack. Chad Reed needs to capitalize on these moments. He's just not up front to get this moment going.
Here comes Bentley holding on to the lead. The veteran Larry Ward second, the privateer Lacey third, then Lanovich, Jessamine, Andrew Short, and then you have to wait a while before you see Stewart.
He's already picking riders off at 5, 6 at a time. I mean, you guys come through the pack, he's simply unbelievable.
Do you think that James Stewart is in a lot of these riders' heads now, Denny?
I think when he gets up next to them, they assume he's going to the front of the pack. They're kind of stuck where they're at, and they just move by and let him go by.
Now back up to the front. Bentley trying his best to hold off Ward. Bentley came back at Unadilla after missing the entire national and supercross season, and this has just got to be a thrill for him. But the question is, how long can he last, especially with Larry Ward bearing down on him?
Larry's a proven veteran. The guy's is in good shape.
Swings around the outside. Sorry, Denny. Swung around and right like that made the pass. And you know what? That's a local move, isn't it?
Yeah, Larry's raced here many years as a kid growing up, and he always seems to excel when he comes back to these local tracks.
Larry Ward takes over. Of course, Larry Ward won a national last year for the Moto XXX team at Redbud. He got on the podium once this year, and that was also at Redbud. But beyond that, he has had a tough season just keeping up with young James Stewart, Chad Reed, and Jessamine. Here's that pass again.
Now, this is a complete opposite pass. Earlier, Bentley went to the inside and made his move. Larry Ward just leaves the gas on longer and goes right around the outside.
Using that bank turn,
which sets him up perfectly for the inside of the next right-hander.
Classic supercross move. Now check out what happened to Buddy Antonez. He getting hung up on a couple riders here, just nowhere to go.
Yeah, Buddy gets hung up, and he's on the high side here, and Buddy's not known for being one of the taller riders. He needs a little height right now.
Back up to the front of the pack. Bentley starting to put pressure back on Larry Ward, and now you see that Brandon Jessamine has moved into third as they come through the whoops. We will be back to see if Jessamine can catch Ward and Bentley at Washougal. Speedboat's presentation of AMA Motocross is brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. And by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. Honda, performance first. You see some of the fans taking advantage of the obstacles on the midway, but back down on the track, we are trying to get a beat on where Chad Reed is. You see Brox Owen down. That looks like Ryan Huffman has gone down, and I think that's Chad Reed with him. You see Huffman grabbing his back. He's going over to Chad Reed. That is Chad Reed. You see Dean Baker with him. I think Huffman is checking on him or something. And Chad Reed takes a little stab at him.
Wow, Davey, that was quite a high-speed crash for Chad Reed. Obviously, emotions run high, and Chad Reed's not real happy with whatever went on there.
It looked like he was having a problem with the shoulder. You see him holding his left arm straight. Huffman comes over to say something. Now, this is when they came up to the top of the hill. You see Huffman right there on the inside, and it looks like right here maybe their lines cross. You see Reed's bike hooked to him. He goes down hard, and Chad Reed's bad luck just keeps continuing here at Washougal.
Chad has had quite a dark cloud over him this National Series, and it's amazing how it keeps continuing. I don't know what Chad's done to do wrong, but fate is not doing well for him.
Right there, he takes a little punch at Ryan Huffman. Of course, the Huffman family owns the Washougal Park, and Ryan comes out from time to time and does pretty well. Now back up to the battle for second. Shea Bentley doing a fine job of holding off Brandon Jessman, but it looks like Larry Ward's getting away, and there goes Jessman on the inside. Over jumps just a little bit and gets a better line from Huffman and takes over second place. There's your leader, Larry Ward, on the Moto XXX Yamaha. Now you get a sense of how close Brandon Jessman is. Jessman coming through the pack quickly.
Jessman's been waiting for this opportunity all season long. Stewart's in the back of the pack. He's up front. He wants to get this overall victory.
Larry Ward, your leader, he is 32 years old. You see Jessman, 20 years old, Shea Bentley, another young rider. There's that yellow flag. You see Reed down and out of this race. Let's go down the pits with Cameron.
James didn't get such a great start. Brandon moving towards the front. You got to feel pretty good about the position right now.
Yeah, it's still early, though. Stewart's just starting to pick up momentum, and Brandon's just taking his time getting going. So we'll see about three-quarter way where we stand.
We were talking a little earlier about how Brandon is in tune to win. You guys feel like you're ready for it, don't you?
It's coming. It's going to come sooner or later. We're always fast in practice, and we're getting closer and closer every week.
We'll see if it happens today.
Thank you.
Well, like Denny said earlier, James Stewart not having the best of starts, but he has battled his way back up to fourth, and he's coming right up on Lanovich on the inside, and he gets him right at the end of the mechanics area. So Stewart has now battled his way up to fourth, passing Lanovich as they get ready to go up the long hill, and you just catch a glimpse of Shea Bentley. Here's Bentley coming to the picture right now. He is third, and Stewart and Lanovich still battling over that fourth place position. Lanovich doing a good job in making his first appearance at the Nationals since he hurt his ACL in the Supercross, Denny.
Like I mentioned earlier, Davey, he is training with Ryan Hughes, and Rhino said that he's got a heart as big as gold.
And you see Chad Reed, it definitely is a DNF after that crash, but at least he rode his own bike back to the mechanics area. He's talking to Dave Dye, that is his mechanic. Yamaha of Troy's Chad Reed going to lose more points on James Stewart in their battle for the 125 National Championship. There is Bentley in third. Now Stewart is caught up with him. You see Lanovich right there as well. The leaders are Ward and Jessman. They are completely out of the photo. You see Stewart grab a tear off. They come around to getting ready to get to the mechanics area again. This is where Stewart was able to pass Lanovich the last lap. Tries that inside move to try and get his Kawasaki inside that of Bentley. They go over the jump, and he tries the outside this time, and Stewart gets out of the corner quicker, so now Stewart is third. James Stewart from a mid-pack start up to third. Bentley is fourth, and now Lanovich is trying to make a move. Back up front, Larry Ward is your leader. Here is Jessman. Now check out the gap back to Stewart.
You've got to wonder if Stewart can make that gap up. The way he's dominated the past few rounds, the way he came through the pack at Redbud, you can't count this kid out. He's done miraculous things this season.
Is this the kind of track you can do that on, though?
Washougal track is pretty fast. It gets pretty narrow in some places. The leaders do check out quickly, but you can't count out James Stewart.
Not this year. James Stewart been terribly impressive throughout the season, no matter where he started, front of the pack, back of the pack. Sometimes he goes from front to back like he did at Unadilla last week. This kid feels like he can win from anywhere on the track. As they come down the ski jump, Stewart is third, Lanovich is fourth, and there is Bentley, your fifth place rider.
This is a huge opportunity for Lanovich right now, Davey. A lot of riders haven't seen James Stewart all season long. This is a great way to gauge his speed.
And there's your leader, Larry Ward. Let's go down the mechanics area with Cameron Steele.
Doug, Larry having a great run right now. You think he can hold off Jessman?
I think so. He's running pretty consistent lap times right now. Jessman's not making up much. I think he'll do it.
Now, Larry is a veteran. I hear he's a little tough to pass out there. Is that true?
He's been around a long time. He knows what he does.
Should be interesting.
It will be.
There you could see the distance from Ward to Jessamine, and then you have a long way back to James Stewart. Denny, if you got someone behind you at the end of the moto, I don't know if Jessamine is the one you want. He might be in the best shape of anyone out there.
Brandon's proven he's an Ironman this season, but Larry, like you said, he's a wily veteran, man. The guy knows what's going on, and he steps up to the occasion all the time.
We'll be back to see if Jessamine can catch Ward in a moment. And now back to the battle at hand. Billy Lanovich, showing no fear, comes down on the inside and makes a brief pass back on James Stewart. That was unexpected.
What a way to return to the Nationals, Davey. Battling with the #1 guy that's on the track.
Lanovich, who used to be a rival of Stewart's back in the amateur days, coming up through Loretta Lynn's and Ponca City and places like that. And here comes Lanovich again on the inside. This is a classic West versus East battle. Lanovich from California, Stewart representing Florida, and the two rookies are really going at it. Billy Lanovich, the biggest surprise here in this first moto Washougal.
Lanovich basically has nothing to lose here, and this is a huge opportunity with KTM Red Bull. With Grant Langston out, this guy's carrying the flag for him.
And he's carrying it very well. You see Stewart trying the outside line. This is where he passed him the last time, and that time Stewart goes around Lanovich instead of under him. So Billy Lanovich giving the 23,000 fans here the biggest surprise so far. His first race back, drag racing Stewart up to the top of the hill, gets right up to his rear wheel. Lanovich all over the series points leader, a couple 16-year-old talents putting on quite a show.
These two are having a great race. They're using a variety of lines, really showing this Washougal track's all about. We're going to take a look at this first pass when Billy made the move in the old mechanics area. You see James Stewart going wide, going a little too wide, and Lanovich scooting around the inside and making the move over for third place.
Looked like Stewart trying to carry some speed there, but then he does make the pass on the outside in the new mechanics area.
Yeah, as you'll see here, Lanovich goes on the inside, a lot more of the braking bumps, having to slow down, fight the line, where Stewart just carries that momentum all around the bowl there and just makes the move back into third place. These guys are hammering it out.
Stewart goes by cleanly on the outside, so Stewart back up into third, resetting the playing field. Larry Ward is winning, Brandon Jessamine is second, then Stewart, Lanovich, and Shea Bentley. Now let's go down to the mechanics area with Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, check this out. You never know who you're going to run into in the pit area. Today, Ryan Hughes, guy's unbelievable motocross rider, now retired. What are you doing here? What brings you back to the races?
I've been working with KTM for a bit, testing the new 03 250, getting that thing going, and working with Billy Lanovich. Been working with him for a couple weeks, and you know, trying to get him. It's his first national. Just trying to give him a little bit of experience and also train him, and he's doing good.
He's definitely riding fast. The kid has the speed. He's been out hurt. Is he at 100% now?
I don't think he's 100% yet because this is his first national, and he doesn't know what to expect, but he has a ton of heart and a ton of talent, so we've been working real hard, and you know, I think by the end of the year, you'll see what he's made of.
Well, at the end of the year, anybody that has a coach named Ryan Hughes probably has an advantage, so we'll see how it works out. Back up to you guys.
Well, thanks, Cameron. Of course, Ryan's been getting that KTM ready for Weir here and Jeremy McGrath. Now, back up to the front of the pack. The white flag is out. Larry Ward is winning. This is what happened to Larry Ward just 1 week ago at Unadilla. We thought he missed a gear, but he was quick to tell us, Denny, otherwise.
Yeah, it's supposedly the crank broke on the thing, and it just went diving over the handlebars. I talked to Larry a little bit here this weekend. He said he messed up his back a little bit.
And it looks like it's not bothering him one bit, though, but he is leading Jessamine, putting the pressure on, but he might be running out of time. You see the Washougal faithful waving for one of their native sons, Larry Ward. This would be unbelievable. He won a national last year, Redbud, with a 2-2, but who would have thought that the oldest rider in the field could pull off a moto win against the likes of Chad Reed, James Stewart, and Brandon Jessamine, who himself has not yet won a moto. Ward, just a couple turns to go. He's going to get into the whoops area, and Jessamine is going to run out of time. Goes through the inside, a little squirrely. Larry Ward right down through the heart of the whoops, past the checkered flag, and Larry Ward gets himself a moto win. Stewart is second, and then you have to wait a while. James Stewart should be our third place rider. What an unbelievable upset for Ward. We'll talk with him when we come back, and we also finish up our cross-country trip with the Sobey boys. Thanks to the Sobe guys for taking our cameraman, Freddie Timberlake. You're looking at a very happy Larry Ward, our first moto winner here at Washougal. But first, let's talk to James Stewart, who took third.
All right, James, it's my job to be out here asking you the tough questions. Last week, you slow up for the competition. This week, you get started behind them. Had a little bit of problems catching up and passing all of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, this weekend the track was really hard to pass on. It was kind of slick out there. And, you know, I just got out in third and started around my own race. And, excuse me. Yeah, and
not used to all that roost, huh?
No, definitely not. I mean, lately I've been getting really good starts, and you know, I got up in third, and you know, the scouts was gone, and felt like I tried to push it, and I just kind of sliding around out there. But you know, I'm happy with the third. I finished the moto, and I'm still good in the points, and I think I picked up some points on Chad, and I only lost 2 to Brandon. So you know, I got to come out strong for the second moto and just have fun.
Well, you definitely gained some points on Chad Reed, not finishing in the points this moto. Brandon Jessman actually coming up to second in the points. Another question: what about moto number 2? You looking to put a whooping in?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody, it's going to be tough, and I feel good. I didn't get tired or nothing. Just it's kind of hard to pass out there. And once I got a third, the scouts are gone. But hopefully I get a good start, and the old man got me this time.
We'll see you in moto 2.
Thanks.
Stewart, of course, referring to his Oakley teammate Larry Ward, who gets his first moto win in the AMA National since 1998. Looking further down, Fonseca, Eric Sorby, Matt Walker, Damon Huffman, and Andrew Short rounding out the top 10. No Chad Reed in the results. Let's go back down to Cameron with the veteran Larry Ward.
Larry, it's been a while since you had a moto win. You're up here on the podium, #1. Taught those kids a thing or two, didn't you?
I don't know about that. I know this Yoshimura Moto Triple X DGY Yamaha was awesome. My poor mechanic, Doug, I made him change just about everything on it yesterday in practice. And I came out this morning, we tried one more thing, and I came in and said, man, my bike is really good. I don't think it's the fastest bike out there, but it's perfect. I mean, it turns so good, and it's real torquey for this slick Washougal track. And man, what a homecoming. This is my 16th consecutive national here, and it feels just like the first time I was here winning like this.
You come back to your home state, you get a win. Just everything seems like it's aligned. Could this be something getting you started for the rest of the year and maybe going into next year?
I sure hope so. I had a podium here a couple weeks ago, and we've been working on this Yoshimura motor, and it gets better and better every weekend. But with progress comes some setbacks, and we've had a couple. But I can't wait to call those guys in between motos and tell them we won, and look forward to the rest of the year.
Well, we look forward to moto number 2. See if you can do it again.
I sure hope so. I know this Yoshimura Yamaha is going to give me another good start, and just ride as hard as I can.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you.
Well, Denny, Larry Ward was winning back when you were a rookie.
Yeah, Larry and I grew up racing together minis way back in the day. As we see here on the graphic, Larry Ward is the only rider to ever won a national in 3 separate decades. It's amazing.
And he might be able to get it again. But the man in the middle in that first moto was Brandon Jessamine. He's with Cameron.
Well, Brandon Jessman, second place in moto number 1. We talk about you wanting to win, being so close to winning. James Stewart finishing behind you, but Larry Ward in front of you. You got to be a little surprised with that.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. Larry was running pretty good out front. I mean, my Suzuki got me out to a good start along with my, Michelin tires and RG3 suspension, but I was trying my hardest, maybe a little too hard, and I was a little tight. Just, you have to be kind of mellow with the throttle here, and I was trying to be a little too aggressive and made a few mistakes, and I just couldn't, get in it really. But
well, I spent some time talking to James Coy over this whole season. He tells me you get looser at the end of the moto. Is there anything you can do for moto number 1 to kind of loosen up at the beginning? Seems like if you rode like you did at the end all the way through, you might be unstoppable.
I know, that's what I've been trying to work on every weekend, just trying to come out, be loose from the get-go, but it seems like I'm getting a little better, but I just got to consistently keep working on it, and I'm sure it'll get better.
Now after that moto, you move into second in the points. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, second feels great, but I just taking each moto at a time. I want to go out and win everything I can, so kind of disappointed, but I just got there, try my best.
Enough seconds, right? Let's get a first next time.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Taking a look at the schedule, some upcoming races. For more information, log on to usmotocross.com. Speaking of very fast women, the WML was also on hand here at Washougal, and Steffi Bao, the Honda rider from Italy, was able to take a 1-1 and move closer to the championship. Florida's Jessica Patterson had to fight from behind. She was able to go 2-2 ahead of Tanya Satchwell, the defending champion. So Bao the winner, Patterson second. Now, Cameron Steele's caught up with Billy Lanovich, the biggest surprise of the first moto.
All right, who in the heck is Billy Lanovich? First ever AMA National, running the top. You actually passed James Stewart in that moto.
Yeah, I felt really good. I didn't get such a good start, and then I got in the inside, and I think I was about 5th, and I just rode my race. And then James started catching up, and he passed me, and I just stuck right on him. And we had a good pace going.
The TV audience may not know exactly who Billy Lanovich is. You've been hurt, had some surgery, you've been off, you've been training your brains out. I mean, the hype is for real, isn't it? I mean, you can say it.
You know, I did crash in the Supercross, and I had knee surgery. And I just been working with Ryan Hughes a lot for about 2 weeks, actually. And I just came out and tried my hardest, and I did pretty good.
Right on, Moto number 2 should be exciting as well, huh?
I hope so. Hope it's just as good.
Right on, Billy, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Denny, up to this point in Billy's pro career, the best finish we've seen was that 3rd back at the Anaheim Supercross.
We're down here on the gate for Moto number 2 in the 125cc class. Behind me, the Moto XXX Yamaha of Larry Ward. He smoked them all in Moto 1, a great race. I went into the pits after the first moto to find out what the other riders were doing to change, to try to get the speed. Both James Stewart and Brandon Jessamine have changed their jetting. They're leaning their bikes out. What does that mean? It's going to give them a little bit more top end. They say it's getting a little moist, a little humid out here, and the guys need just a little bit more speed. Larry Ward, no changes. The other thing is, James Stewart said he was a little slippery, a little loose on the course. He went to a groove tire. He didn't run one in Moto number 1. So, should be excited to see if Larry can hold these young guns off for Moto 2 win and keep it all here in Washington.
Taking a look at our Suzuki starting lineup, Chad Reed is back in the field. He had that DNF in the first moto, went down on his shoulder, but it wasn't so bad that he can't ride. Also, keep an eye out for Billy Lanovich, 4th in the first moto. Quite a surprise. And Tucker Hibbert, professional snowboarder, made the main event. He's out here just trying to get points, having some fun. So as we peek over Brandon Jessamine's shoulder, 2nd place in the first moto, the card is sideways. You see it's a dirt start like Denny mentioned before the first moto. They are getting ready to go, and the second moto is off, and right there goes Jessamine, right up the middle, takes a look over his shoulder. A clean start, Jessamine with the whole shot down along the inside. It looks like a good start from Steve Boniface is 2nd, and then you see Chad Reed right there in 3rd. Quick recovery, Ryan Huffman, or rather Jason Cormick, I should say, is 4th. Larry Ward is 5th, and James Stewart, another so-so start. He's about mid-pack as they come over the hill.
Brandon Jessamine was shot out of the cannon right there, Davey. We had the camera on him, and he just blew out of that gate. A huge hole shot. This is the place he's been waiting for all season, to start up front.
Jessamine had the lead very briefly over James Stewart at Unadilla. This time it looks like he's got some room, and maybe he can make a breakaway. So Jessamine on the Blimpie Suzuki out front. They go through the trees, get ready to come down off the ski jump. 23,000 motocross fans here on the high banks of the Columbia River as they drop off the ski jump. And there's Ernesto Fonseca. He is our 6th place rider. He's got Shea Bentley behind him. Shea got 5th in the first moto. Paul Curry is next. And there you catch a glimpse of James Stewart. He's about 11th right now.
You also see Larry Ward up in the front near the pack. It'll be interesting to see if Larry can come through the pack as well as he did that first moto, get up front and compete with Brandon Jessamine.
He says he's got the fitness. He looked like he had the fitness in the first moto. He is in 4th right now, but he is going to have to catch Jessamine if he wants the overall win. And there you see Reed, or rather Boniface in 2nd. Reed is 3rd as they get ready to complete this first lap. Back into the tight tree section. Then Boniface makes a short mistake right there, a quick mistake, and Reed was not able to capitalize.
It's good to see Chad Reed back out on the track, doing well. With the injuries we've had so far this season, you hate to see another top guy like Chad Reed out.
And he's got to pick up points right now if he wants to stay with Stewart for this championship.
Yeah, it's almost come to the point where the championship's quite out of reach for him. It's a time to battle with Brandon Jessamine for 2nd in points now.
Jessamine, of course, took over 2nd in that first moto, and now he's got the lead. You see Reed on the inside try to take Boniface. Ward went out of your picture. There is Fonseca in the middle of that pack. James Stewart pops up, and he looks like he is up to 7th now.
Bubba is coming through the pack like a freight train, Davey. Brandon Jessamine's out front, going to be running for his life because he knows Bubba's going to be coming fast. It's interesting to know if these tires may be working better, as Cameron stated to earlier. I don't know. This second moto is going to be very exciting.
You can see the track is a lot slicker, so maybe that move is exactly what Stewart needed. Now Ward comes down on the inside and moves into 3rd. A nice clean pass on Boniface for 3rd. So you have Jessamine out front, Reed 2nd, Ward is 3rd, Boniface is 4th, and Ernesto Fonseca is 5th. Denny, let's take a look at the start again.
As I mentioned earlier, Brandon Jessamine comes in the first turn like a shot out of the cannon. As we see in the middle of our screen, Kevin Johnson's dragging a Honda there. It looks like David Pingree bike. And at the bottom top of your screen, Buddy Antonez, another bad start for the Budman. Guys gonna have to show what kind of Iron Man he really is.
Antonez been in the top 10 all year long after a terrible first race at Glen Helen. Same thing happened to his teammate Brandon Jessamine. Now Stewart starting to close in on Boniface. That is the battle for fourth as they come down the hill. And there you see Chad Reed. He's got problems. Let's go down to Cameron.
Dave Dye on the headphones right now. Chad went by. We obviously heard some problems with the motorcycle. See if we can get him for a second here. Dave, we heard the bike go by. Sounded something's wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of exhaust failure. Don't know yet, can't tell, but see when he comes in. But he's gonna keep pushing.
Gonna keep riding? Is there a chance he might come in, change the pipe, something like that?
No, right now I'm told him to keep pushing. It's okay to ride it like that. You know, it's not optimum, but I'm gonna keep riding it.
What a disappointing day.
Yeah, pretty bad.
All right, we'll see ya.
Another tough break for Chad Reed. His pipe seems to be falling off.
I don't know anything about force trucks, but as Dave was talking to Cameron, he saw his header pipe fall off. I don't know, can that bike run that way?
So far, so good. He is trying to stay out there. It looked like temporarily considered quitting, but he cannot at this point in the season. Now we have a rider down the side of the track. That was our fourth place rider, Steve Boniface. You see Kaipo, the suspension technician for the Red Bull KTM team, talking to him. Boniface, a tough break. He's out of our race. Now this is the battle for second. Larry Ward, he's got James Stewart coming right up behind him.
The kid and the veteran battling it out. I think Larry's about twice old with Bubba Stewart. We're about to see if the wily veteran's got anything for the kid.
Well, this would be the track. Larry Ward, of course, as he mentioned earlier, his 16th national here in Washougal, and that is how old that James Stewart is. And down through the trees, Stewart shoots through the gap. Quick pass, just like that. Stewart is now into second place. So Stewart moves into second, but Jessamine has a very big lead. Can he catch him? We will be right back to Washougal. By the time the 1999 AMA 125 Nationals reached the 8th round at Washougal, Ricky Carmichael had the championship well in hand. The Kawasaki rider had won 6 of the first 7 races to dominate the series, but Washougal would turn out to be his toughest race of the season. Bad starts in both motos left the Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider at the very back of the pack, forcing him to pass an astonishing 77 riders over the course of 2 motos. That would be the most riders Carmichael has ever passed in one national. Unfortunately, it was 1 rider too few for the overall win. After local hero Jason McCormick shocked everyone by winning the second moto, Carmichael, who rebounded from his terrible starts for a pair of runner-up moto finishes, thought he had won the overall. But FMF Honda's Brock Sellers, the first moto winner, crossed the finish line right behind Carmichael to steal the overall victory with a 1-3 showing. 1 point better in the final results and the first national win of Brock Sellers' career. Back to the action today, and Jason McCormick is once again out there in the 125 class, but not quite having the same kind of day he had in 1999, but he loves this track, and you can never count him out, Danny.
Yeah, David. Jason, like Ryan Huffman's a staple of the Washougal National. He's here year in, year out. He's just not having quite the luck he had then. It's, again, just showing how difficult the Nationals are today. There's a lot of deep talent.
David Pingree said it's as hard to battle for 20th as it is for first. And speaking of, here comes Jessamine, but he's got James Stewart right behind him. James Stewart has completely evaporated the lead that Jessamine had. And a little ways back, Chad Reed now battling with Matt Walker, doing fine on a less than 100% YZ250F. And right there, man, that would look like a little bit of a shot, Denny.
Yeah, it looks like Chad took out a little bit of his frustration there on Matt Walker, gave him a little glance, and carried him wide.
Now back up to the front of the pack, coming off the ski jump. Jessamine is the leader, and this is effectively the battle for the overall. And James Stewart goes right around the outside. A lightning pass by Stewart. He has come from the middle of the pack back into the lead. He used the same outside line that Larry Ward used on Shea Bentley in the first moto, and James Stewart has positioned himself to get another moto win and another national win unless Jessman can get right back on him. Here's that pass.
James Stewart is the dictionary definition of the word fast. See how he scrubs speed at the top of this jump? He comes flying down this hill. The difference between James Stewart and all these other riders is his hesitation. There's none. He's either on the brakes or on the gas. He slams in that wall at top speed, goes right around him. Next thing, he's got the inside, and he's in the lead.
That had to have caught Jessman off guard. Now here's Reed and Walker.
Now look at Reed, takes a little glance over his shoulder, stands up, and just puts Walker right into the wall. Matt's had a phenomenal season up so far. I don't think he's going to tolerate this.
Walker, of course, the winner of the 125 Houston Supercross earlier in the season and a top 10 threat throughout these nationals. Now Stewart looks like he's starting to break away from Jessman. That pass on the last lap definitely swung the momentum towards Stewart. We will be back to see if he can hold it all the way to the checkered flag. Stewart, Jessman, and Ward at Washougal. Speedworld's presentation of AMA Motocross is brought to you by Honda. Company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. Honda, performance first. And by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. The second moto winding down here at Washougal Motocross Park in Lower Washington, and James Stewart is now on his way to what would be his 7th 125 national overall win. He came through the middle of the pack to catch Brandon Jessman, and now here on the final lap, he is out front. Jessman is second, and then it is a long way back to Larry Ward, your first moto winner. Ernesto Fonseca's fourth. Chad Reed is fifth. If you're wondering where Billy Lanovich is, he didn't get a start and has been fighting his way through the pack. He is back in 12th. Reed riding with a bike that is already, well, he's almost quit earlier in the race when the header pipe fell off, but he keeps it going. He is in 5th, trying to keep his very slim championship hopes alive. But James Stewart, another great afternoon.
Although Brandon Jessman's been riding great, we really can't be surprised by this. I mean, Stewart's been the top, the head of the class this whole season.
Doing it all over the country on both coasts. Oftentimes in his first visit to some of these tracks, and every road amateur day here at Washougal. We should mention Reed has never been here either, having come from Australia. So James Stewart comes down through the whoops. His 3-1 will be good for the overall win. You see Jessman come into the picture with a 2-2. Stewart takes the win. Jessamine will finish second. Larry Ward is third with a 1-3. Then Fonseca and Reed. Matt Walker was not able to avenge himself. Buddy Antonez comes from way back after that first turn crash to finish in 7th. Now let's go down to the winner's circle where Cameron Steele is with James Stewart.
Well, I'm up here on the podium with a guy that is really getting used to it. 5 wins in a row, 16-year-old James Stewart. Seems like you're closing in on your first ever title.
Yeah, I mean, Kawasaki was working awesome out there. I got a horrible start. I mean, I got a good jump and I just wheelied and I was way back. I think I was about as far as that first moto. And that second moto, I wanted to regroup. I wasn't too happy with my first moto performance, and you know, just got up front and started catching Jessman and went around him on the outside. That kid's fast. He's riding an awesome race, and he's going to be tough for the rest of the 3 races.
3 races to go. Where do you go from here? I mean, you got to go back to the pits. You got to think about the championship. Is that what you're focused on at this point, or are we taking it race to race?
I'm taking it race to race. I mean, I got a good points lead, and you know, I'm gonna go home and I think I'm gonna go to Loretta Lynn's for the week and hang out where I started racing that, you know, and I'm gonna come back real strong at Millville.
He says he has a good points lead. That's over 80 points, ladies and gentlemen. Back up to you guys.
Well, Stewart mentioned Loretta Lynn's. It's hard to believe that just last year he was an amateur participant there, and now he goes back as the 125 national points leader. Larry Ward finished second overall with a 1-3. He's with Cameron.
Larry Ward, your home state, Washington. You tie for the overall with James Stewart, but you're going home with second overall.
That's all right. James you know, he's won all but 2 of these this year, so obviously he's got to figure it out. And, you know, I'm out here 32 years old just having fun, and this Moto Triple X DGY Yamaha came together today. My mechanic Doug stuck with me, and we got it real close. I'm looking forward to the rest of the Nationals.
Well, I bet you'd be looking forward to it. Your first, second overall this year. There's only one spot to go higher on the podium. You think you have it figured out? Are you ready to take the kid down for an overall?
Well, this definitely, you know, I have my bike right now, and, you know, my confidence definitely it has been missing, and this is definitely going to help out my confidence, but, you know, the little guy's tough.
Right on. We'll see you at the next stop, Larry.
Thanks.
Well, great afternoon for Larry Ward, but in the end, he just didn't quite have enough for James Stewart. But second overall, Denny, he's got to love it.
Yeah, the weekend might be all about Stewart winning, but the true story is behind Larry Ward. He comes back time and time again. He loves coming at his home race. If Seattle Supercross is still around, I'd expect him to win that.
Well, Larry Ward gets a moto win, but James Stewart gets the overall and moves another step closer to Ricky Carmichael's all-time rookie record. For Denny Stevenson and Cameron Steele, I'm Davey Coombs saying so long, everyone. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.